One of the other things that we've learned that the NSA was doing was going out and undermining encryption standards, and even working with some US companies to insert backdoors in software and even hardware. What does undermining encryption do for cybersecurity writ large?
It's troubling, to say the least, and it was a concern I always had. You know, a few years ago they did a competitive analysis of various encryption standards, and the Ridgedale standard was selected, and then something was modified where it became AES, Advanced Encryption Standard, and it made me very suspicious. I'm not sure exactly what was modified in the code, but certainly some of the ciphers they have in there are, you know, they are able to decrypt on the fly. And they're also, by the way, they're also leveraging technologies and developing technologies that let them have access to encrypted communications without having to decrypt it by you know, reading spaces in between communications and things to that effect. So it's troubling. It's troubling that they would intercept hardware and they would plant spyware into equipment, and you know, it's. And folks like RSA, the organization, to comply with them and to do something illegal like that is just really speaks to the moral of the organization, and how little they care about the integrity of their customers' data and the privacy of the customers' communication that they portray they're committed to uphold. So it's very, very troubling, and it's a very overt and aggressive act. This is not a defensive posture. They're not functioning as a blue team. Blue team are folks that are charged with defending the integrity and the privacy and the availability of systems and data. That's a very overt and aggressive act, and it really undermines all of the integrity of the communications that's out there.
And of course, anybody with a computer knows that there are bad actors out there. There are hackers, there are virus creators, there are all sorts of different people who would want to intrude your system to steal data. When a government security agency, national security agency, is actually undermining cybersecurity, how does that challenge the ability of all of us to protect ourselves?
Well, look, if they've got access to it, then you know, there's a lot of smart guys out there. You know, the NSA doesn't you know, have the only smart folks out there. So when they weaken standards, it weakens the integrity of all internet communications. It weakens the integrity of all electronic communications. So if they have access to it, chances are somebody else will get access to it. And when you look at the way that organizations and people operate, they don't upgrade, they don't adhere to the latest patches. So it really opens up a whole Pandora's box in terms of you know, access to vulnerable systems, vulnerable communications, and folks that put their lives on the line relying on encryption. The students in Iran, or the folks that are in Egypt that are looking to have the same type of freedom that we have, these guys are relying on that encryption standard with their lives. And it's unfortunate that you know, it could be that the very same organizations they're concerned about would have access to all those communications, and not so good things could happen to them.